Welcome to the Life Chat Podcast, seeking the truth with Derek Powell, navigating you through. Every Wednesday night, new topics ignite. Join the journey, let's take flight. Bringing insights that change our view. Derek's voice, clear and true. Tune in each week, discover new light. Life Chat Podcast, reach a new height.
Hey, welcome everybody to Life Chat Podcast. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Thank you for taking the time out, even though it's freezing cold outside. I know we got a lot of snow here, man. I don't know about anywhere else, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So right now, it's like freezing outside to me. But that didn't stop the show. You know, we're a couple minutes late, but we're here. You know, I told you we were going to have a special guest tonight, and we got him right here, Mr. OG Duv Mac. The topic for tonight is, who is OG Duv Mac? And the reason why I selected this topic is because, like, I never really met OG, but my cousin, Miss Benita, Miss Benita's show, she had, if I'm not mistaken, she was in LA. It was like a year or two, maybe 2 years ago. And I think that they had some kind of encounter, you know, they had some interaction. And I followed her on her page and I saw him on her page. So I was interested. And it took all that time for me to even reach out, try to contact him. But he's here now, y'all. So we're going to try to find out who is OG Duv Mac. Welcome to the show, man.
What's going on?
Not much, man. First, I just wanted to start off by saying, can you give a little description of not just your name, but the person, you know, the personality. Who is OG Duv Mac? You know, where you from? How were you brought up? We'll try to get into a little bit of just figure out who we're dealing with now on the screen.
Who is OG Duv Mac?
That's right.
Me, man.
I knew it was gonna be some kind of humor. Come on.
I can't be nobody else but me, man.
Absolutely.
But I was born and raised in East Side, Long Beach. Well, actually, I came to the earth on the West Side, then ended up moving to the East Side because our house burnt down. So we ended up moving off the West, and that's where I got my life introduced to the East Side of Long Beach, California. You know.
Now, what you remember now, you're talking to a lot of people that the people that are going to watch later on. That, you know, some of us haven't even been to Long Beach, so we're not familiar. So you just saying it like we're all from the same area, the same hood, the same section, and we're not. And we're talking about a totally different side of the country. So can you elaborate a little bit more, talking about the East Side, the West Side, and Long Beach, and, you know, give us a little bit more insight. You don't have to go too deep.
Where everybody know California is on the West Coast.
Of course, yeah.
You know, Long Beach is a little city inside of LA County. And we pretty much are all the same. You know, we born and raised in these streets, grew up in these streets, doing what we did as kids. You know, ended up meeting each other, meeting with Snoop Dogg and all my boys from the camp, Corrupt, you know what I'm saying, Nate Dogg, all my family, you know what I'm saying, from the Dog Pound. But this was before we was Dog Pound. We was kids.
We even got on.
Yeah, grew up in the hood, in the same neighborhood, pretty much. You know, as little bad kids hanging out street lights. We did, you know, the same thing y'all did, man. You know, ain't no different from the East Coast to the West Coast, or whatever.
Well, you know, the reason why I say that is because the reason why I said what I said earlier is because me personally, I've never been to California. You know, I'm 50 years old, soon to be 51, and never even been to California. But I'm making it a goal. I want to go out there. But the reason why I said what I said earlier is because, you know, from TV and movies and music, all we see and hear about certain areas is the the negative side, or depending on which area we're talking about, we see glitz and glamour, and we know that it's not always just glitz and glamour. We know it's not just a Hollywood style, Hollywood lifestyle, and all that. But was there a time? Was there a time in, like, growing up? Was there a time in your life when you had to deal with certain things that uh, helped you move ahead in life, like things that changed you
Mm.
or forced you to grow up early? You don't have to,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean, we was all subjected to drugs, in the neighborhood, um, which my parents had got hooked on drugs, and it caused me to be an adult because I used to have to take care of things around the house that they wasn't able to do. Like pay the bills, make sure the rent was paid. I used to take the money from pops. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that me and my sister had somewhere to live. And that kind of pushed me into street life too because I had to get out there and go get it. And I was too young to go get a job and stuff like that. So yeah, I resorted to the street life, and then um, ended up having a kid. And when I had a kid, it kind of changed my life um,
Softened you up a
because,
little bit.
well, yeah, because I wanted more for my kid, you know, than the life that I had. So I didn't want to, you know, give him that same vibe that I grew up on, you
Right.
know. Uh, and that changed me. And then I ended up having a daughter. I had a son, had a daughter. No, I had a son, then I had another son, and then I had a daughter, and then another daughter, and
I was
another
wondering
daughter.
if you was going. I was wondering if you was going to stop. You just kept going and going. Go. Are you done? You sure you're done?
Yeah, I got 5 kids.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got 5 kids. So, but
So,
they caused me to want to look different and take my music ability to another level. Then also my business ethic. You know, um, I learned business from streets. Doing what I was doing in the streets. So now I'm
right.
just elevating my business to what I already learned. And flip this money uh, in a legal way, but you gotta invest it in order to flip it. You know what I
To watch
mean?
it grow, so it can
Yeah,
grow. When it,
yeah,
what to
yeah.
grow in a positive. Well,
Hmm.
in a way that's going to be beneficial. I'm not even going to say positive, but a beneficial way. You know. I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of times we don't see people um take the negative and even have the thought of trying to establish some type of business. A lot of times we see people that just want to keep holding money and this and that, and just keep flaunting and flashing that lifestyle. But at the end of the day, there's nothing really to show for it. We can't take the money with us. So our legacy is actually, when we're building our legacy, I think our legacy is to leave something, for the next generation, or to leave your name, leave your mark on something. Um, but
Hold that thought and be right back. Hold thought.
all right, so we had to take a break. Um, but I just want to get back to the topic of what I was just mentioning with OG, is the fact that sometimes we just put ourselves in situations where we forget about trying to advance, and when we do that, we just stay stuck in that same rut. And a lot of times it keeps us stuck and stagnant. no matter how old we are, the mindset is just to gain one thing. And that one thing is money. It's gonna be, money. It's gonna be power. You're gonna have the little bit of street cred, but where is that really gonna get you? Are you gonna? Is there anything that you can uh, show for it at the end? And when I say the end, I'm talking about when we get older, we get to the point where we're not gonna be able to run around in the street. You're not gonna run around in the street all your life. There's gonna be a time when you're eventually gonna slow down, or they're gonna slow you down. But since you're back now, I didn't. I know there are certain things I'm not even gonna try to discuss. But let's talk about a little bit about your business. What brought you to the point of developing a business, starting a business, and what type of information would you want to give somebody else that's looking to start a business? Some of the younger kids, younger people that might watch, or some people that might be aspiring to create a business at this time, at this moment.
Well, first of all, I knew I had to have an LLC to start even receiving my residuals for my music, because for a long time I wasn't receiving nothing because I didn't have a business set up or a way for the money to get generated to come back to me. You get what I'm saying? So the only way
I,
to do that is to create you a business so that you can attach it to your outlets, which is, distributions and different things of that nature, um, along with ASCAP and
the
sound
BMI
scan, yes, BMI sound scan and all this, sound exchange and all this. You gotta, connect all this stuff with a business LLC so that you can create your income, and then also have it be taxed, so that you can pay your taxes and different things like that, which I'm learning because, like I said, I just got my LLC, and then I ended up opening up an e-commerce store. I got 3 e-commerce stores, um, which I saw a little ad on the internet, and I just like, whoa, and I did it. I invested in it, bro. Like,
because that's
and
investing in yourself.
yeah, I actually made a sale the other night too. Yeah,
That's that's the key. That's like a big moment too when you make that first sale.
man, I made a sale, bro. And I was like, wow, I did the women's clothing, I did the jewelry, and left hand. So, which I'm gonna end up taking the income that I make from that and invest in my music, keep investing in that, and whatever else that I got going on, which we also doing graphics and
I saw yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
I saw
we,
you was type. That's actually, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is how I get excited. But I noticed I saw, I did my research. Like I said before, I really didn't know who you were, so I had to start doing a little research and Nick, picking through, select, see who I was dealing with, and I see that you had a lot of people on your not I don't only want to say your friends list, because friends list that's you know people that you're connected to, actually physically connected to, have a lot of businesses, and these businesses are either music or digital creators or some type of entertainment business. And my whole thing is, was this always a part of uh, your uh, your circle, or is this something that just popped? This is something that had just happened once you started moving forward.
yeah, when I started moving forward, I started networking and meeting people, and we just started vibing together and connecting. And all these years we stayed together. Some of us fell apart, but the majority, of us, we stayed together and we support each other. We help each other. You know, it is
The
what it
biggest key,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Biggest key
like
right there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I engage with people. Some people don't like to engage, you
Mhm.
know, but I can't engage with everybody. But I try. You know what I'm saying? I try, but I be busy too a lot. So, when I do have some free time, I try to engage with the people,
All right.
and that's how you network. You get to know one another. You never know uh, what skills someone could bring to your table as well as you
Exactly.
bring skill, to their table. And that's the name of the game because if you're not bringing nothing to the table, what we
So
gonna
with
do?
that, right, and that's another. Like I was saying, that's a key because when to make a well-rounded team, uh, individuals have to have their use their own individual use their talent to bring everything to make a full circle. One person might be an engineer, the next person might be an artist, the next person might we can go on down the line all the way to a barber. We can go down to the graphic designer. So each person brings their own niche to make the complete circle, make the circle full, and that's how people benefit. That's how people move ahead because you have a team behind you. Because we can't just do this stuff on our own. A lot of times we get comfortable in thinking that I got this, I can do this on my own. Okay, the wheels gonna fall off eventually. So a lot of
Yeah,
times people say I'm gonna ride until the wheels fall off. The wheels gonna fall off eventually. So it's always in your benefit to have somebody on your team on your side that can pick you up or help pick up the pieces when and if things fall apart. I
yeah. You don't need no yes man. You need somebody that'll tell you the truth, like even though
tell
it
you the
hurts.
truth.
Like
Yeah.
I had people tell me stuff. I didn't want to hear it. I'm good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I might not wanted to hear it, but I listened to it, and I might not did listen right then, but I went and analyzed it. Like, it might have been right,
Give you something. Give you
and
something to reflect on,
and I
something to think about.
yeah. Yeah, cause you know how you get hot headed. You don't want to hear certain stuff right then and there. But do you listen to it? Is the point? Can you? You know, if a person love you, they gonna tell you what's right. You know what I'm
Like,
saying? And
hearing it is one thing, but listening it is another thing.
yeah, yeah. But you need the people around you that's gonna beat it into your head. Cause sometimes we do be stubborn. We do be
Especially as a
stubborn.
man.
Yeah,
As a man, we sometimes we just that thing is just in us where uh ain't nobody can tell me this, nobody can tell me that. You can't tell me what to do. I'm this, I'm that. You know. But then when it's time for you to ask to cry out, ask for help. That's the rough part. You know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
back to the OG man. Back to the OG. Where did OG Duv Mac come from? What is OG Duv Mac? What does that mean? What does OG Duv Mac mean? Just the spelling of Dove with DUV, different thing. So where is where does this come from? Where's OG Duv Mac
Man, from the streets to success, bro. Like from the hood to the no good. You know what I'm saying? From all
from?
that, man. I've been in and out, man, and just growing up and just growing. So I'm a ball of knowledge. I've been here doing this since 14 years old. Like I've been doing music, rapping on stage, and creating groups and doing the whole thing, man. And each time I was doing it, I really knew what I was doing. You know, I was raised up by Chili Chill from the Lynch Mob. He taught had me in a lot of meetings as a kid growing up. So around Ice Cube and of course Snoop and Dr. Dre and the rest of the camp. We might not hung out 24/7, but we have been around each other. you know. So I try to grab every piece of knowledge that I can grab, and then I learn from there, man. And I just keep trying, trial and error. And I never quit. I'm a fighter. That's who I am. Um, I can't quit. I might slow down, you know, because I got other thoughts or other things that I need to take care of. But I'm gonna get back to it. All us, I can't leave it alone. I got too many people looking up to me, you know, to make it happen. So I'm gonna try until I can't try no more. That's all I can say. Like I'm not a quitter. My pops taught me to, never quit, man. So I go hard as I can. So, and I'm gonna continue to go hard. If nobody else go hard with me, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be on the front line going hard. I'm
By
I'm
your
gonna go. I'm gonna go so hard you gonna feel bad because you don't go hard enough. And then I'm gonna tell you, get mad if you want to, but I'm gonna get mad because if I don't see you pushing, what I want to push you for? You know what I'm saying? Like I I want to see
I just
you.
mentioned
It's
that
not
yesterday to somebody.
yeah. I mean, it's not that I don't want to push you, but I want to see you pushing you. Then I get happy and excited, and I might grab you, you know, give you that extra thrust. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta see you pushing, man, and I'm pushing me too. So you can't crowd me out. I'm
I just mentioned that yesterday to somebody about you know, we all, I mean, we always have somebody that might be in our circle or somebody that's close to us. But I can't go out of my way to try to do more for you than you're doing for yourself. Um, and for me, that
or
took a
do more for you, or do more for you than I'm doing for myself.
yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying. You end up hurting yourself or taking away from yourself, trying to invest in somebody else, and then not even putting in no work. I mean, that's draining. That's honest, that's draining for real. You know,
yeah,
but and that comes from experience. That comes from living long enough. Uh, and speaking of living long enough, you mentioned earlier, where you're from. You're originally from California, Long Beach, California. Um, but we talked a little bit, and you now live on East Coast.
I'm in
Want
Georgia
to talk a
now.
little bit? Yeah, you're in Georgia now. I feel like I was just down there like last year. I stayed down there for a little while. I was in Ellenwood, but so just outside Atlanta. But I loved it down there. I'm planning on going back eventually. But is there a difference? Do you feel that is there a difference between uh Long Beach or the Long Beach area and the Atlanta area? And what would that? How does that? What's the motivator? How does that motivate?
Well,
And one more question. One more question. I'm sorry. One more question. And was the move all about music?
nah, I came out here one year for the Dub show with Snoop RBX when they performed out here at the Mercedes Stadium, and I just love the atmosphere of the people so much. Like the going to restaurants, they greet you with a smile, and you know, I ain't saying everybody like that, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's a Southern hospitality feel for real when out here. You know what I mean? In this area. So I fell in love with that. So I said after the Dub show, if I ever got a chance, I was gonna move back here, and just I just felt like it was something here for me to grab. I didn't know what it was. I felt in my spirit that I needed to come out here. And when I got my chance, it was with this woman named Leola Brown, which is Bobby Brown's sister. She was trying to put on a tour, And so she snatched me up, was like, come to Atlanta with me. And I was like, well, okay. And I
Just
just,
up and left.
boom, you, you know, and I grew up from the dirt to where I'm at now. Like I didn't have no family, no friends out here. Everybody I got out here now, I made friends. I met with the people and they was, yeah, they fuck with me. Excuse my French, but yeah, you know, I'm that guy, man. Like I can go anywhere
I'm
and
glad you took.
survive.
I'm glad you said it because the other day I was talking to you, and I said something to you. I forgot exactly how the conversation went, but you said the same thing. You said, you know who I am? I was like, and I had to do a little bit more. I don't know if you remember that, but I had to do a little more research, a little more digging, and just to find out, who you were.
Right.
Um, I knew what your influence was. I knew, a little bit about, but to actually do a little bit more research and find out who you were, since you mentioned it and you mentioned it so boldly and strongly, I figured I'd go ahead and check it out. But now I know a little bit more about you, man. And I was mentioning to you like how when I watch your videos and seeing how you interact um, when you're doing your lives or you're doing your streams or whatever you're doing behind the camera. You're like this real wild. To me, it's like this wild dude. I initially like this wild guy. But when I called you and I talked to you on the phone, you was like it wasn't the same person. That's why I think this topic is kind of fitting. Because like, who is Duv Mac? Is he the guy that's behind Is he the same guy, or is he the businessman? Is he the rapper? Um, who is he? Is he the gangster? Which one is he, or is he all of them in one?
I'm a guy with many hats, man.
Okay, okay, and that was perfect. That was a perfect response because that's what it takes. We got to adapt to whatever, you
Yeah.
know. Um, but I think the biggest part of um what I really wanted to talk about um just the fact that growing up, being getting older, I don't want to say up in age because I think if I'm not mistaken we're around the same age bracket, so I don't want to say up in age, but getting as we grow and we elevate, we advance, we get a little bit, get some years on us, get a few more years on us. Where do you see where do you see Fault Line? Which is your Fault Line, is the entertainment company or is it your clothing brand?
It's everything. Enterprises. Team Fall Line Enterprises. That's why I named it Enterprises, because that's what I'm building. I ain't got no name, no certain thing. It's just whatever catch me and I grab it and it pulsates into something. That's the enterprise, baby. I'm gonna build it, bruh. Like I came to build, bruh. And that's why I named it Team, because I felt like it's not enough team effort in nothing. Everybody's, mostly, not everybody, but a lot of people for self. Ain't no
So
team. So, you know, I've been trying to build because Snoop told me build you a real team. And ever since he told me that, that's what I've been on. You know what I'm saying? And I found some good ones. I found some bad ones. I had to let some go, and some that's still around. You know what I mean? But whoever's supposed to be here when it pop off, that's who gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? The team. If
nah,
it ain't no team effort, what you for self. Kick rocks.
yeah, we talked about that earlier about that circle. Everybody got part to play.
Yeah,
So if
and
you
we
got
all
that one.
can't do the same exact thing.
So
Everybody
when
got strength.
with team fault, like like for the people that don't know who you are, the people that may not know from maybe this area, or maybe people that are just watching it, not really in. Can you just give us a little bit more about what Team Fault Line is? What is your brand?
Well, The team stands out. It says it all to me. I'm a team player, man.
What does team
There's,
fault line consist of? It's,
there's
like I
no,
said earlier, it's not just the
oh,
closing line. But what else? What do you have?
oh,
What are you? What
oh,
are you?
oh,
What are your ventures?
oh. Okay, well, I do production. I counsel artists, school artists. I try to train them in the best way that I know how they should go. You know, a lot of them don't listen sometimes, but I try, to teach one, reach one, so we all can have a salary. I
True.
got that from Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Teach one, reach one. We all have a salary. That stuck with me over the years. Whenever I try to do something, I try to teach, but I also have to learn myself. Sometimes, I hit a lot of brick walls learning. So what Team Fault Line is, it's just a beast. It's a force to be reckoned with. That's what it is. It's
That's
just
what you.
it's just it's just a team, bro. Like I'm trying to build a real team of people that's gonna stand together and withstand the test of time, no matter what it is. If we having hard times, we're gonna come with ideas and create stuff together so that we can build each other, not tear each other down because we're not where we supposed to be. Everybody don't start out where they supposed to be. You know what I mean? And everybody don't got a silver spoon that they can go pick up and go take to the pawn shop. You know?
Everybody. Well, you said the pawn shop, but everybody. But like you just said, but everybody don't even have the connections for that either. Sometimes it takes some connections, and
and,
we're about we're about to wrap this up in a few minutes, but with the connections, you have connections, man. I checked out your little. I'm not gonna say a little resume, but checked out some of your parts pieces of your resume, man. You really, really, really connected to heavy hitters. Um,
well, yeah, but I don't floss that or use
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's why I
Um,
wanted to get into that. That's why I wanted to get into the fact that I didn't see anything about using other people's status or other people's name and this and that. And I'm just gonna say it. That you are connected with DPGC, Dog Pound under Snoop's label, under Snoop. You connected with some folks out there. Um, so I mean, I'm sure you want to have your own identity,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
always a plus. You don't want to be under somebody else's umbrella. That's the only way people recognize you or people acknowledge you. Oh, you Snoop's boy? I'm OG Duv Mac.
Well, I'm gonna just keep it 100. I always had Team Fall Line even before I started repping the dog paw.
I
The
saw that. I
reason
saw that.
the reason why I started repping the dog paw is because one of the homies resting in peace right now, named McGruff, he jumped in my inbox, and he was one of the bosses over Doggy Style Records at that time before he passed away. But he jumped in my inbox and he scolded me like, "Why you ain't repping the dog pound?" And I was like, "Well, the homies, if they wanted me to rep the pound, they'd have let me know. I'm not finna just start, repping the pound and the homies don't know it or don't give me permission." He was like, "Nigga, you are the pound, nigga. You was with us before we started, nigga." Ooh, just drilling me, man. I mean, he was drilling me, bro, and I was like, "Yeah, you
That's
right."
that's what we was
You know,
talking about having about those pieces to the circle, the pieces to the puzzle.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. It's a couple other homies too that did that to me, and plus my cousin Big Randolph, he was security for Snoop Dogg before he passed. When they first did uh, the major tour that they went to New York and New York and actually got into it with Fat Joe and he was one of the soldiers over there handling business. Not my big cousin, rest in peace. But he was also producing too. I used to watch him produce, and that's how I ended up producing along with Chili Chill. I was always watching him. Um, so yeah, I've been around music all my life. 'Cause my dad, my Randy, he used to play the drums in the church. My pops, guitar player, and then we used to do shows and stuff, singing the blues, and I used to grab the mic and just be singing the blues, freestyling. So that's where my freestyling came from. You know, I, I was freestyling the blues. I didn't write it. I heard how they did it, and I just made up my own blues. You know,
I think
and
I think that's where that voice change comes from. People
well,
don't
no,
know. He got this
you
crazy way of changing his voice that it's like sound like
well,
you all
yeah, yeah,
like you
yeah,
almost like
yeah.
possessed or something.
That's how we do. Yeah. We get down with the get down, baby. Yeah. You know.
So like one of the old school DJs back in the day at the skating rink or something.
I don't know. I
But
just always used to do goofy stuff as a kid, so that came from me just growing up, man. I used to always try to make people laugh. Friend of mine told me I should be a comedian. I felt like that too sometimes, but I don't know if I could be a stand-up comedian, man. I just do stuff spare the moment. I don't know about like writing it out and stripping it out and like some Cat Williams, but but
it's a lot of those top comedians. They say a lot of those comedians uh they express their comedy from pain. You know, that's what I was told. I have no clue. I'm not a comedian, but that's just what I was told. From what I can see, I can believe that. Um, but we're about to wrap this up, Dove. I just want you to stay on afterwards, so we can chat a little bit more to stay on. But before we do close this out, man, thank you first of all for being on the show. I'm glad we finally got to connect on the show on the episode for the episode. I'm hoping that um some people check that are going to check out the episode on YouTube. Um, either watching it now or just going to watch it later. Hope to get something out of this to understand the fact that what we talked about was the topic: who is OG Duv Mac, and we went into um, just the connection, having connections, utilizing connections, but also basically being your own person. That's what I got out of it. And that's one reason I like um, not having things like choreographed or planned out because we never know where it's going to go, but it always leads to the place that I believe that it should go.
Right.
So we're at the end of the episode right now. You just want to leave your information, give your information on the episode.
Well, you see right there, that name right there, OG Duv Mac. Just Google that name, put the DPG on it, and you can find me wherever you want to find me at, because I'm on all major platforms. I got a new project coming out. It's it's gonna be dope. It's with Kelly and Franklin Entertainment. It's gonna be on all major platforms. So yeah, make sure y'all check me out, man, because we into doing major things, and I'm trying to get this. I ain't trying. I'm getting this ball rolling for 2025, man. Because you know, business is in season right now, man. So if you don't got your LLC, man, or C corp, I was gonna get the C corp. I still might upgrade to C corp, but yeah, get your business, man, and find something you like to do. You know, and because my thing is I want to create at least 8 streams of income. You need 7 to become a millionaire, so I'm shooting for 8. So that I can take the money that I'm making from my businesses and put back into my business again. So I can create some generational wealth for my family. And my family's families with something that wasn't done, unfortunately, for us. But that's my goal before I, step off the earth and grab my wings is to create some generational wealth and inspire others to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we all can do it. It's out here to be done. And don't look at the people in your direct area. You got all over the world, where you can receive currency that can be transferred into your business. But like I said, you need a business license to do that.
All right.
And that's what I have to say to you.
A little bit. There it is again. And you. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you for being on the episode. Thank you for being on the episode for tonight. We're gonna talk a little bit more because I'm gonna talk about how you gonna what we're gonna do when I come to Georgia, man. But thank y'all for joining me tonight, and thank y'all for joining welcoming Mr. OG Duv Mac. Thank y'all. Good night. Be blessed.
Appreciate y'all supporting me. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Life Chat Podcast, seeking the truth with Derek Powell, navigating you through. Every Wednesday night, new topics ignite. Join the journey, let's take flight. Bringing insights that change our view. Derek's voice, clear and true. Tune in each week, discover new light. Life Chat Podcast, reach a new height.